Today is the day that you have been waiting for, FlowChat Connector. I'm so excited that you are here today. Why, you ask? Because today I'm going to cover one of the craziest 4-question closing strategies of all times. This thing doesn't come from me. It came from experts before me, but it has all the right features and all the right elements. And so, let's just get into it. How about it? What's up, FlowChat Connector? Sean back at you with another high-ticket tune-up. Don't forget to smash that like button, share this out to somebody who needs it and maybe wants to get better at sales. And of course, if you find some value in this one, share it out to those who need it more than you, right? This one's going to be so powerful, so valuable because I've used it myself. I've trained hundreds of people to use this particular strategy. However, it was reformatted recently by some of my mentors and coaches that I studied from, people like Jay Abraham, Dan Sullivan, Russell Brunson, Perry Belcher, and so on and so forth. Like, the names go on and on and on, but the concept is revolutionary. It is evergreen, and it will work in your business. And that's the cool thing about what I'm about to share with you. So let's just dive right into it right about now. So we're going to talk about this 4-question crazy closing strategy that you could use today in your business. Sometimes you feel like this, right? You get into a sales call and you're like going up for the close, and then something hits you on the head and you're like, oh, dang it. Now I feel like clumsy and goofy and I didn't get it right. I didn't get the sale. I didn't close the deal. I didn't do the thing that I was trying to do. And then, of course, you kind of feel like a goofball. You go back to the office and you're talking to your squad like, hey, where's the new sales coming in? And if you're responsible for them, dang it, it really sucks, right? In my journey, I remember it was kind of like this gift that you see here. It's like every time I would hit the finish line, I would fall into a big hole. And I remember this specifically that as I was starting to learn all these different selling systems, because I spent a lot of money and a lot of time dissecting a lot of different selling systems, I would try one thing and it would work great for me. And then I would fall in the hole because I'd have the next thing to do. And then I would go back and I would tweak and modify it. And I'd learn something new and I'd put that in my thing and I'd hit the finish line and then bam, I'd fall down the hole again. And this happened over and over and over again until I came across this 4-question closing strategy that works so well. And I'm going to share it with you right now. Here's the image of what it looks like. There's 4 steps. I'll just share them with you. Number 1 is the future. Number 2 is the wall. Number 3 is the resources. And number 4 is the next step. Let me say that again. The future, the wall, the resources, and the next step. Well, what does this mean, Sean? I could see the pictures and that's cool. Well, number 1, this is a gentleman watering a flower, thinking about the future. So when you get into the conversation, whatever conversation it is, typically if it's a sales conversation, you want to set the agenda, or what we call the rules of the game. And we say, here's what I expect out of this call. This is the agenda I have. Do you still have the right amount of time? Is there anything you want to add to the agenda? Yes. So we've got the agenda tuned up and dialed in. Now we would move into this 4-question closing strategy that will be hyper effective. So question 1 is called the future. This is what it sounds like. Imagine you and I were starting to work together today. I teach you everything I know and I do everything I can so I can get you the results that you want. Now, imagine we're sitting in a coffee shop a year from now. What would have had to happen in your life, both personally and professionally, for you to feel happy with your progress? What would make you believe that this was the best decision that you've ever made? And then you shut your mouth and you let your prospect start to talk. In professional sales, this is letting the prospect paint their own picture, right? You never want to paint something in their picture that's not there, because it's going to harm you from actually closing that deal. And it will harm the prospect saying, well, that's not what I had in mind. That's not my thing. And so what you want to do is you want to give space to your prospect by using this future-based question to say, hey, look, like, we started working together. I give you everything. I teach you everything I know, all my record, all my history, all my stuff. And now we're sitting in a coffee shop a year from now. What would have happened in your life that would have made it like truly inspirational, powerful, amazing? And they said, well, if I achieve this, okay, so that's what they want. Now we know their goal. That's where they're going. Yeah, and I had this and this and this and this, boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden, they're answering all of these emotional cues in the conversation, and they're just getting moist when it comes to like knowing exactly what they want. And you just sit there and you're taking notes, right? And once they've finished and you've asked them, dug a little bit deeper in each of these things, you go on to stage 2, which is called the wall. And the wall sounds something like this. Thanks for sharing all that. Clearly, you know exactly what you want. You've painted a really great picture for me. So let me ask you this. Why don't you have it yet? What's been standing in your way or kind of holding you back? And what does this question do? It triggers where the prospect hits their wall and says, oh man, like, well, this isn't right, or that isn't right, or this isn't going wrong, or I'm doing this wrong. And again, what were we doing? We're taking notes. Every time they say one of those things, if you've been one of my advanced students, you would know to take each of those, what we call pain indicators, and take them through the magic pain funnel. There's 7 questions in that, or sorry, the magic 8 questions in the pain funnel that we take people through. Each one of these pain indicators comes off question number 2 from the wall, right? It's like, oh, tell me more about that. Can you be more specific? How long has that been going on? What have you tried to do to solve that? Did that work? How much did that cost you? How do you feel about that? You haven't given up trying, have you? In sequential order, those are the magic 8, just so you could hear them and have them. Then you go to stage number 3, right? After they shell out all that information, you're taking notes like crazy. That's going to be the bulk of the call. And then you move into the resources. Phase 3, question 3 is, well, I want you to think about your resources, your connections, your talents, or skills that you have access to that you're not currently utilizing 100%, so that we could actually help you overcome some of these obstacles and actually achieve that thing you want, the goals that you're trying to get to. And then they're going to sit there and think for a minute, well, I could do this, or I could try that, or I could try that. Each one of those, why would you try that? Do you think that would work? Have you ever tried that before? Again, getting into the budget conversation and doing this type of a conversation is so powerful, because it will help you to identify the problem that they have, the budget that they have to actually solve it. And then we understand, the people in the organization that they might need to go to. Again, that buying process becomes hyper valuable in the resources section or phase of this crazy 4 question closing strategy, right? And so they start shelling out all these things that they could have tried, but they haven't tried it yet. So don't worry, don't freak out when you hear this, because it's like you're just getting them to brainstorm a bit, right? And then what we do from here is we move into what we call the review, right? So this is a stage that sits between number 3 and 4, after the resources, before the next step. And it sounds like this. Okay, so let's review. It looks like you know exactly what you want. You told me you wanted blank because of blank. Now you haven't been able to achieve that primarily because of blank and maybe blank, right? And lastly, it looks like you have all the resources you could ever need to leverage that, but you're not leveraging any of them yet, right? Did I get that right? And so we've done a complete recap of this 4 question closing strategy. And then they say yes. And you say, well, I only have one more question. Do you want me to help you? And that one closing question, do you want me to help you? If you say it with empathy, you say it with the right tonality, you say it a little bit softer, you will close probably 90-95% of all of your deals, because that's a very personal ask, but it's not intrusive. And that's the secret. This one, do not change the wording whatsoever. Do you want me to help you? Right? Perfect closing line. This 4 question closing strategy, I assure you, will be the one thing that will separate you in your sales conversations. You can use this and apply the same concepts directly into your DM combos, your text messages, your emails, anywhere, everywhere, right? This is an evergreen strategy, and I know it works because I've used it a tremendous amount, and I tried to make it as simple as possible in 4 steps for you, and there you have it. So again, if you found some value in this, please share it out to somebody else who might need to get better at sales. In fact, share it to a couple of people. That would be wonderful. Right? If you found some value, make sure to smash the subscribe button. Of course, would love the like on the video. With that said, you've just been tuned up once again. I'm Sean, and I am the co-founder of FlowChat. By the way, if you want to learn more about FlowChat and how we can actually apply this exact thing in your DM strategies or in your sales conversations, click the link below. Come book a call with our team and just check it out. It might be right for you. It might not be, but at least it's free and you'll know. Right? We've been doing this for years. We've done hundreds of thousands of conversations with great success. We've closed tens of millions of dollars in deals, and we can help you do the same thing. With that said, I can't wait to see you next time. Until then, talk to you later. Ciao for now.